Edward Clodd was an English banker, writer and anthropologist. He was the only surviving child of 7. He had a great variety of literary and scientific friends, who periodically met at Whitsunday gatherings at his home at Aldeburgh in Suffolk. Biography. Although born in Margate, where his father was captain of a trading brig, the family moved soon afterward to Aldeburgh, his father's ancestors deriving from Parham and Framlingham in Suffolk. Born to a Baptist family, his parents wished him to become a minister, but he instead began a career in accountancy and banking, relocating to London in 1855. He first worked unpaid for 6 months at an accountant's office in Cornhill in London when he was 14 years of age. He worked for the London Joint Stock Bank from 1872 to 1915, and had residences both in London and Suffolk. He married his first wife Eliza Garman, a doctor's daughter, in 1862. He had 8 children with Eliza, though 2 died when they were young. In his old age, he married his secretary, Phyllis Mordrope, who survived him by 27 years. Clodd was an early devotee of the work of Charles Darwin and had personal acquaintance with Thomas Huxley and Herbert Spencer. He wrote biographies of all 3 men, and worked to popularize evolution with books like The Childhood of the World and The Story of Creation, A Plain Account of Evolution. Clodd was an agnostic and wrote that the Genesis creation narrative of the Bible is similar to other religious myths and should not be read as a literal account. He wrote many popular books on evolutionary science. He wrote a biography of Thomas Henry Huxley and was a lecturer and popularizer of anthropology and evolution. He was also a keen folklorist, joining the Folklore Society from 1878, and later becoming its president. He was chairman of the Rationalist Press Association from 1906 to 1913. He was a Suffolk secretary of the Prehistoric Society of East Anglia from 1914 to 1916. He was a prominent member and officer of the O'Markayam Club or O.K. Club, and organized the planting of the rose from O'Markayam's tomb onto the grave of Edward Fitzgerald at Bulge, Suffolk. At the centenary gathering, Clodd was a critic of the paranormal and psychical research, which he wrote were the result of superstition and the outcome of ignorance. He criticized the spiritualist writings of Oliver Lodge as non-scientific. His book Question, A Brief History and Examination of Modern Spiritualism, exposed fraudulent mediumship and the irrational belief in spiritualism. Clodd had a talent for friendship, and liked to entertain his friends at literary gatherings in Aldeburgh at his seafront home there, Strafford House, during Whitsundays. Prominent among his literary friends and correspondents were Grant Allen, George Meredith, Thomas Hardy, George Gissing, Edward Fitzgerald, Andrew Lang, Cotter Morrison, Samuel Butler, Mary Kingsley and Mrs. Lynn Linton. He also knew Sir Henry Thompson, Sir William Huggins, Sir Lawrence Gombe, Sir John Rees, Paul Du Chaillu, Edward Whymper, Alfred Cummin Lyle, York Powell, William Holman Hunt, Sir E. Ray Lancaster, H. G. Wells and many others as acquaintances. His hospitality and friendship was an important part of the development of the social relations. Works. The following list is incomplete. Biographies of Darwin, Wallace, Bates and Spencer exist. 1872, The Childhood of the World. 1880, Jesus of Nazareth. Kegan Paul, London. 1882, Nature Studies. Wyman, London. 1888, The Story of Creation, A Plain Account of Evolution. 1891, Myths and Dreams. Chatto and Amp, Windus, London. 1893, The Story of Human Origins. Chapman and Amp, Hall, London. 1895, A Primer of Evolution, Longmans, Green, New York. 1895, The Story of Primitive Man. Newnes, London. Appleton, New York, 1896. The Childhood of Religions. Kegan Paul, London, 1897. Pioneers of Evolution from Thales to Huxley. Grant Richards, London, 1898. Tom Tittot, An Essay on Savage Philosophy in Folk Tale. 1900. The Story of the Alphabet. Newnes, London, 1900. Grant Allen, A Memoir. 1902. Thomas Henry Huxley, Blackwood and Amp, Sons, Edinburgh and Amp, London. 1905. Animism, The Seed of Religion. Constable, London, 1916. Memories. Chapman and Amp, Hall, London, 1917. The Question, If a Man Die, Shall He Live Again? Grant Richards, London, 1920. Magic and Names and Amp, Other Things. Chapman and Amp, Hall, London, 1922. Occultism, 2 lectures. 1923. The Ultimate Guide to Brighton, England. McStewart and Amp, Earnshaw, London,